Oh, welcome to Fabulous Football Friday, Week 8 edition, and what a week it was. We said we had a week that was full, and I mean full from top to bottom of teams that had big-time implications all across the way, and that is what we're bringing to you on this beautiful Week 8 of Fabulous Football Friday, which is brought to you by Lewis, Nissan, and Beckley ARH Orthopedics, and what a week it was. And it all began with some AAA action, which we'll get into in a minute. But I first want to just lay the scene out here because it's incredible what we're dealing with and what we're going to deal with in the next couple weeks. This is the battle right now for the AAA conference when it comes to the Coalfield Conference of the AAA. All right, so you've got Princeton at 1 right now, 6-1. This is before the games were played tonight, because we don't know the scores yet. Maybe some of you haven't seen it yet, so we don't want to break the news. Princeton at 6-1, Woodrow Wilson at 5-2, and Oak Hill at 5-1. All three of them neck and neck and neck. And Woodrow Wilson and Princeton, they played tonight, so that could cross out one of them. Oak Hill and Woodrow Wilson, they play later, and Oak Hill and Princeton already played. So it's a battle for three teams trying to figure out seeding, playoffs, all of that stuff. And we'll get to that game in a minute. But we first have to start with Oak Hill. That was home against Buchanan Upshur in a game that kind of looked a little tight. Maybe Oak Hill was looking ahead to that Woodrow game. Let's go out to Oak Hill and see what happened. We head out to Oak Hill where the Red Devils are back home for a beautiful Friday night of high school football. First play of the game for Buchanan, and it's a handoff, and there's a fumble. Isaiah Conley recovers it for the Red Devils. Defense setting the tone early. So Oak Hill takes over. Malachi Lewis gives it to J.D. Moritz, and Moritz runs strong downhill, spins off a defender for a big gain. Lewis in shotgun lobs it up looking for Elijah Gray, and it's picked off by Chase Hackett. So each team has had one offensive possession and both have turned it over, but Oak Hill got the ball back. Lewis has it. The Buccaneers bring pressure. Lewis eludes them, picks his head up and finds his guy Elijah Gray down the field, and Oak Hill is in business. Now, Lewis takes the snap, looks to his left, tucks it, takes a hit, but gets hit into the end zone, and it's a Red Devils are on the board first. Buccaneers now on offense. Pass is up in the air, and Zach Simmons comes up and grabs a big catch by Simmons. Wyatt Morris, he gets the block. He then takes it for a big gain. And then Daniel Hedrick finishes it off, and the Buccaneers tie things up early on in Oak Hill. Homecoming night, but the Red Devils back with the ball. Lewis pump fakes, looks down the field, and once again, it's number 1. Elijah Gray with another big catch, and then Lewis fakes the handoff, hesitates, and then throws a bullet in between double coverage, and Armandi Hicks comes down with the touchdown. And then Oak Hill gets it back, and this time Lewis decides, let's give it to Moritz. And Moritz with the patient. He follows his blocker. He shows patience. He turns on the speed, and he gets in for 6. And then it ends where it begins. The defense, as Buchanan's Brody McDaniels lobs up a pass, and Malachi Lewis is there to pick it off. But he isn't done. He takes it all the way back for a house call. Pick 6 for Lewis. Another win for the Red Devils. Oak Hill is soaring to a 27-7 win. Big time win there by Oak Hill. How did they do it? Full screen breakdown time. Let's get it going here. All right, start things off with Malachi Lewis. He was magical. He was incredible. And I want to show you how he did it because he did it with true magic, shiftiness, and craft. Play it right here. All right, Malachi has it. Stop it. Look at this. Right now you're looking at this film and you're saying, what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4? 4 different defenders, Buchanan defenders, are circled him right now. That's a sack. The play's over. He's done, right? Play it. Malachi says, nah, not so fast. Now stop it right here. This is what I love so much about this play. First, he eludes the sack pressure, which is incredible. 4 guys around him, spins off of it, and then what does he do? Look at all this space. Look at all that space. He already had a steam ahead. He was already running. He could have taken that ball and just gone for a gain, but instead Malachi said, I want a bigger gain. So he picks his head up, and look what he does. He finds his guy, Elijah Gray, of course, deep down. A phenomenal job by Malachi Lewis, and it even gets better here. Watch this. Malachi Lewis. Now, I want you guys to see number 3 here. This is key. Watch what he does for a second. Play it. Boom, pump fake. Okay, that pump fake right there to number 3, Malachi still has the ball. He didn't throw it. He just pump faked it to number 3. But watch what happens to the defense after that pump fake. Stop it. Look at that. We've got 1, 2, 3 defenders were not in the scene earlier. They have now jumped into the scene just from that pump fake because of they're looking at number 3. And then look at where Malachi's eyes are already looking. He already knew he's going to fake that pump fake, and then he's going to look upfield, and boom. Wide open. 2 guys. Not 1. 2 different guys. They could have fought over the ball if they wanted to. That simple pump fake brought the defense so much. Malachi knew it, and look at that. It's a field day for Oak Hill. 2 guys could have caught it if they wanted to. Huge play and great job. And then now we got to give J.D. Moritz some love. This is true running back running right here. This is smart IQ. They always say in football, follow your big men. Your big men break the holes for you. They open up the holes for you. Follow them. Watch what J.D. does here. Play it. Stop it right there. Look at this. J.D. Moritz literally has his hand on number 78, the biggest guy on the field. That is smart. He's saying, listen, big guy, I'm going to follow you wherever you go because I know you can take a hole for me. And that's exactly what 78 does. J.D. Moritz follows him all the way there. And what a play and what a job by Oak Hill there. That was one AAA game. Then we had our game of the week, sponsored by C. Adam Tony Tire Pros. It was Princeton, coming off a loss to Herkin. It was Woodrow Wilson, coming off a loss to Huntington. 2 teams, Princeton undefeated. How are they going to bounce back from a loss? Woodrow Wilson, now 2 losses on the season, but they're home. Can they get a big win over Princeton? A game that had so many implications. Let's go out to Woodrow Wilson for this one. We head out to Princeton to Woodrow Wilson for a battle and a clash of 2 high-powered offenses. That was a running theme all night long. And the thing was, you don't want these offenses to be on the field. That's the big key here. So what does Woodrow Wilson do off the start? They kick an onside kick. Princeton kicks an onside kick, trying to not let that offense on the field, but Woodrow recovers it. Then we'll get back to the special teams in a bit, but the first half got underway, and it was Markel Lau takes the handoff, runs into the pile, bounces out the other side, weaving his way through traffic for the 40-yard score. 7-0 Princeton. Woodrow's first sign of life. Special teams as Elijah Waller, deep punt coming his way. He takes the punt and he returns it deep into Princeton territory, setting up a short field. But unfortunately, that offense, it just wasn't churning early. Woodrow gets stuffed, as you see right here, and they miss the field goal. So they don't get the points after a big special team play. And it kept getting tighter for Woodrow. They get the ball back, but quarterback Devin Richardson forces a pass into tight coverage. It gets deflected, and Garrett Mays comes down with the interception. What a play by Garrett Mays and this defense. But Woodrow gets another chance on special teams as the ball goes over the punter's head, and now they have a shot with the ball, and Woodrow isn't going to come up empty. This time, quarterback Devin Richardson throws a pass to the corner, and Elijah Redfern gets lost behind the defender with a huge catch to put Woodrow on the board. Princeton now looking to respond. Chance Barker likes Brad Moser on the go route in single coverage, but Elijah Redford has great coverage all over him, preventing the deep completion up the right sideline. But Chance Barker says, that's all right, I'll come right back, and this time I'll hit Dominic Collins to prevent the 3 and out, and that is how you do it. Dominic Collins, one of the biggest and scariest playmakers in the country. Red zone, Barker sells the play action pass, hits Michael Diacomo in the end zone, 14-7 Princeton. And this is where Princeton really took off. They immediately come up with huge on special teams, recovering an onside kick, and then they take advantage immediately. Chance Barker is having himself a night, rolls away from pressure with a dart on the run to Dominic Collins, and he puts on a huge juke and takes it to the house. And here is where a lot of people thought Princeton was going to run away with it, as Garrett Mays makes, we already saw it earlier, another interception. And this time, he takes it back all the way for a defensive touchdown. He said not one interception, 2 interceptions on the day, but this time I'm bringing it back for 6. And that kills a promising Woodrow Wilson drive. And then Chance Barker, what a night for him, and what a season for him. Fits a deep pass over the middle in between 2 defenders for another Princeton touchdown to, you know it, Dominic Collins once again with less than 2 minutes left in the half, up 35-7. But Woodrow wasn't going down on their own turf that easy, as Devin Richardson responds with a back shoulder dart to Elijah Waller, throws him open, and he takes it to the house. Waller, the baller, cuts the lead, and that is a big gain for Woodrow Wilson. And then we go back to those special teams. It's Woodrow Wilson's turn to come up with an onside kick, and now that's exactly what they do. Look at the recovery, and now Richardson has some room to work with. And with the wind at his sail, he throws a dart to Elijah Redford on the out route, and Richardson, looking like a clutch quarterback, throws over the middle to Elijah Waller, making it a 35-20 game at half. But that's all the scoring Woodrow would do. Princeton cruises to a 55-20 win at Woodrow Wilson. That's it. Our game of the week. See Adam Tony Tire Pros. It started out slow. It ramped up like crazy going into halftime, and it got bonkers towards the end of that second half. And Woodrow had their opportunities, as we showed. They had numerous times where they were in the red zone of Princeton, or they were in Princeton's territory, but too many turnovers and mistakes. And when you're playing a team like Princeton, you can't make those mistakes because their offense is too lethal and it's too powerful. And that is what will happen. Oh, we're just getting started on this fabulous Football Friday, though. So much more to come. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back in just a bit. Welcome back. Fabulous Football Friday, Week 8 edition. Time is flying. We showed you those games up at the front, AAA clash all around, and more to come with those later on into the season. But there's still so many storylines to play with, including Independence, a roller coaster all season long. But the last couple games, maybe that roller coaster's going up. They take on a good 5-1 man team. Let's go out to Independence. We go out to Independence, where a very good 5-1 man team is in town, but Independence looks like they are hitting their stride as Trey Bowers gets in on the end round, and he takes it inside, moves to the outside, and gets it all the way down to the 10-yard line. Patriots settle for a field goal. Now, it's Bowers again. This time, he goes right. He goes all the way outside, gets to the sideline, turns the volume up to 10. Good luck catching him. Bowers finds a pay dirt on a long touchdown run, and then Patriots, they bring a drive all the way down to the 1-yard line, and Silas Nelson keeps it himself, and that's a touchdown. Patriots hitting on all cylinders right now. Now, it's Bradford's turn. You all remember that run by Bowers? Well, Tyler Linksweiler says, I can do that too, as he goes as far wide as you can go, and then he turns the volume up to 10 as well, and that's 7 more for the Patriots. And then his brother, Christian Linksweiler, says, shout out to Randy Moss, because you just got mossed. Wow, Linksweiler goes up and grabs it over the defender's head, and the Patriots go on to win 38-0. We go out to Shady Spring for their homecoming night as they host Wyoming East. And this was a Gavin Davis game, as Davis rumbles his way for a small game. And that's what Shady did this game, as they Pitch to Davis again here. This time, Davis, he runs to the outside and picks up a few more yards. Methodical drive for Shady. And then Davis gets the handoff, makes a quick cut, dodges a defender, takes it inside the 5-yard line. And when Davis gets you down there, you reward the big man. And that's what the Tigers do as Davis finds the end zone. Touchdown, Shady. And then it's Davis again. But this run is incredible. Davis takes the handoff, runs inside, then stretches it to the outside, tight ropes the sideline, turns on the jet, stays in bounds, and he is in for the touchdown. What a run by Gavin Davis. The speed, the strength, 45 shows it all as Shady goes on to win big, 68-7. We go out to James Monroe, and right off the bat, Leighton Dowdy hits Chaz Boggs, and Boggs hits the turn and finds him a big gain deep into Patriot territory. Now Dowdy, this time he's going to hand it off to Ridgeway, and Ridgeway takes it inside the 5. That is how James Monroe looking to bounce back after their loss to Greenbrier West last week. This time Dowdy under center, and it's another handoff. This time it's a touchdown to Frederick Parker. James Monroe strikes first. James Monroe back with the ball. Dowdy looks around, buys time, runs to his left, then comes back to his right and fires one to Bailey Ridgeway, who toe taps the sideline and gets a big gain. Now, Dowdy back under center. This time he gives it to the other Ridgeway, Cooper Ridgeway, and Cooper runs hard inside the 10 of the Patriots. All night long for James Monroe. Now Dowdy's in shotgun, empty backfield. Dowdy snaps it. Patriots send the blitz. Dowdy reads it perfectly, gets it off in time, and finds Chad Boggs on the slant pass for the touchdown. 14-0 James Monroe, and then Patriots trying to get something going on offense. Jaden Gladwell drops the ball, interception, and that's Cooper Ridgeway doing it on both sides of the ball. He picks it off, and James Monroe takes over. James Monroe goes on to win 49-0. We go to the rest of the scores. Princeton 55-20 over Beckley. Shady Springs 68-7 over Wyoming East. Oak Hill 27-7 over the Buccaneers. Greenbrier West 41, Petersburg 0. Greenbrier West, a juggernaut, or a wagon as they would say. Herkin 31 to Midland 28. James Monroe 49 to Midland Trail 0. Independence 38-0. Riverside 48-6. Greenbrier East with their first win of the season. Let's go Greenbrier East 39-23. And then the blowout, Spring Valley 62-0 over Capital, Wahama 70-20 over South Harrison, Winfield 69-7, Cameroon 59-6, and again Shady Springs 68-7. Another fabulous Football Friday is in the books. Thank you guys for tuning in, but don't go anywhere. Final forecast is next.